Hello, my wonderful friend. Welcome. I am so happy you are here with me today. My name is Anna, and this is the VUS Learning English podcast. This is a warm, safe place for you to learn. If this is your first time, welcome. I am so glad you found us. If you are a returning listener, welcome back. It is always a joy to have you here. Today, we are going to talk about something very important. We are going to talk about a new way to learn English. A kind way, a gentle way, a way that feels good. It is a way that works with your brain, not against it. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me. I know your time is special. I promise to make our time together helpful and happy. If you enjoy our time together today, you can help our podcast grow. You can tap the like button, or you can follow our channel. This helps other English learners just like you find our little community. It is a small click for you, but it is a big help for us. Thank you. I'm always curious about you, my friend. Where are you listening from today? Are you in Ethiopia? Or Mexico? Maybe you are in Myanmar? Or India? Please tell me in the comments. I love to see where our friends are in the world. It makes me feel connected to you all. Okay, are you ready? Let's begin our journey together. Section 1. Why learning English can feel hard. Maybe learning English feels hard for you. Maybe you have studied for many years. You learned many grammar rules. You memorized many lists of words. You tried to speak, even when it felt scary. But still, you do not feel fluent. You do not feel confident. When you want to speak, you stop. You look for words in your head. It feels like a big library in your mind. And you are trying to find the right book. It can feel very slow and very frustrating. Maybe you can read English well. Maybe you can write English well. But speaking feels different. It feels like there is a wall between you and the words. Does this sound like you? Do you know many, many words? But it is hard to make a sentence in a real conversation? Do you feel a little scared when someone asks you a question? You know the answer, but your mind feels empty for a moment. If you feel this way, I want to tell you something very important. It is not your fault. Let me say that again. It is not your fault. For a long time, we have been taught English in an old way, a school way. This old way is not a natural way for our brains to learn. This old way can make us feel worried, and it can make learning feel like hard work. Today, we will look at this old way. We will understand why it feels so hard. And then I will show you a new way, a better way, a way that your brain was made for. Let's talk about the old ideas that keep us feeling stuck. There are 3 big ideas. Old idea number 1, you must learn all grammar rules. This is a very common idea in schools. Teachers give you a rule. For example, a rule about the present perfect tense. Then you practice the rule. You fill in empty spaces in a sentence. The idea is, if I know all the rules, I can make perfect sentences. This sounds logical. It sounds smart. But let me ask you a question. Think about your own language, your first language. When you speak your language, do you think about grammar rules? When you tell a story to your friend, do you think, okay, now I need to use the past tense? Of course not. You just talk. The words just come out. They feel right. You have a feeling for your language, a special feeling. This feeling tells you what sounds correct. You did not get this feeling from a grammar book. You got this feeling from listening for many, many years. You did not learn your first language. You acquired it. A very smart man, a linguist named Dr. Stephen Krashen, talked about this. He said that learning and acquiring are two different things. Learning is when you study rules. You think about the language. This is a conscious process. You know you are doing it. Acquiring is when you pick up the language naturally. You do not think about it. It is a subconscious process. It happens when you listen and understand. Dr. Krashen says that studying grammar only builds a little editor in your head, a little checker. This checker looks for mistakes, but it checks after you think of the sentence. This is why you stop. This is why you freeze. You try to say something, but the checker in your head starts working. Is this the right verb? Is this the right tense? Is this perfect? All this thinking makes you slow, and it makes you afraid to make a mistake. Thinking about grammar before you speak is not natural. It is like reading a book about how to ride a bicycle. You can read all about balance, but it will not help you ride the bike. You need to get on the bike and feel the balance. Think about little children. A 5-year-old child can speak their language very well. Their grammar is amazing. But they cannot tell you what a past participle is. They do not know the name of the rule. They just feel it. They feel it because they have listened for thousands of hours. They have heard messages they understand. Now think about the other side. You know people who studied English grammar for 10 years, they can pass any grammar test. But maybe they cannot have a simple 5-minute conversation. This shows us that the grammar first idea is not the best way. It makes good test takers, but it does not make confident speakers. Your brain has its own way to learn grammar. It learns in a natural order. A teacher cannot change this order. Your brain will learn when it is ready. Old idea number 2, you must memorize many, many vocabulary words. This is the second old idea. The idea that you need to learn thousands of words from a list. You are told that English speakers know 20,000 words, so you need to start memorizing. You download an app with flashcards. You make lists of words you do not know, difficult words like gregarious or ubiquitous. What is the result? Your brain is full of single words, words that are not connected. You know the dictionary meaning of a word, but do you know how to use it? Do you know what other words are its friends? Do you know if it is a formal word or a friendly word? Words do not live alone. They live in families. They live in sentences and stories. Memorizing a word from a list is like memorizing the name of one small part of a car engine. You know the name of the part, but you do not know where it goes. You do not know what it does. You do not know how it works with the other parts. It is not very useful. True language skill comes from seeing words in a story again and again. Think about how you learned words as a child. No one gave you a list of words. Your mother said, "Be careful, the stove is hot." And she pointed to the stove. You felt the hot sun on your skin. You tasted hot soup and it burned your tongue a little. Through these real experiences, the word hot became real for you. It connected to a feeling. It connected to a memory. You did not just learn a definition. You acquired a deep feeling for the word. There was a study about this. people read a book called A Clockwork Orange. This book has many new words, made-up words, slang. The readers did not have a dictionary for these words, but they read the story, and just from the story, they understood what the new words meant. The context of the story gave them the meaning. This is so much more powerful than memorizing. Reading and listening are the best ways to build your vocabulary. Why? Because you are not just learning a word. You are learning how the word lives and works in the English language. Old idea number 3, you must speak from the first day. People say, practice makes perfect. Or just speak, don't be shy. This advice sounds good, but it can be a problem. It can put a lot of pressure on you. This pressure can create a wall in your brain. Linguists call this the affective filter. Let's imagine it as a worry wall. When you are happy, relaxed, and interested, your worry wall is low. It is down. Language can come into your brain easily. Your brain can process it. You can learn. But when you feel worried or nervous or embarrassed, your worry wall goes up. It becomes high. When this wall is high, it is a mental block. It stops new language from coming in. It does not matter how much you practice speaking. If your wall is high, you will not learn very much. Forcing yourself to speak before you feel ready makes you worried. It makes the wall go high. It is like asking a baby to run before the baby can crawl. What will happen? The baby will not run faster, the baby will fall, and the baby will be scared. Every person who learns a language has a silent period, a quiet time. Think about a 1-year-old child again. This child has been listening for thousands of hours. The child understands a lot. Where's the ball? Let's go to sleep. The child understands these things. But the child says very little. Maybe mama or dada. The child is in a silent period. The child's brain is building a big, big library of sounds and sentences. It is all happening inside. Speaking begins naturally, but only after a strong foundation of understanding is built. Many schools do not respect this silent period. They ask you to speak on the first day. They put you in a group to talk. This pressure makes the worry wall go up for almost everyone. The fear of making a mistake is the enemy of learning. It shuts down your brain. The best way to learn is with a low-stress feeling. You get lots of interesting, understandable English, and you speak only when you feel ready. So, if grammar rules are not the answer, and vocabulary lists are not the answer, and forcing yourself to speak is not the answer, what is the answer? What is the way that works? This brings us to the most important part of our talk today, the secret to easy, natural fluency. Section 2, a better way to learn English. The secret is not about working harder. It is not about more rules or more pressure. The secret is about letting your brain do its natural job. Your brain is designed to acquire language automatically, like a superpower. The way to turn on this superpower has a special name. It is called the input hypothesis, and the main idea is called comprehensible input. I will call it understandable English. This is it. This is the secret. This is the only way anyone ever becomes truly fluent in a language. This beautiful idea also comes from Dr. Stephen Krashen. It is so simple and so powerful. Here's the idea. We get language in only one way. Not from speaking, not from writing, not from studying rules. We get language by understanding messages. Messages that we hear or read. That is it. When you understand a message in English, your brain acquires a little piece of the language. Without you even trying. It is like magic. But it is real science. So, what is understandable English? It is English that you can understand even if you do not know every single word. The important thing is that you understand the main idea, the general message. You can understand because of the situation, or because of pictures, or because of the speaker's hands and face. Dr. Krashen made a simple formula for this, a little equation. It is I plus 1. That is I plus 1. Let's break this down. It is very easy. I is your current level of English. It is all the English you already know and understand. Plus 1 is the new part. It is the new words and new sentences that are just a little bit above your level. Just one small step. When you listen to something or read something at the I plus 1 level, something amazing happens in your brain. Your brain uses all the English it understands, the I. It uses this understanding to figure out the meaning of the new part, the plus 1. This is not a hard puzzle you need to solve. You do not stop and think, what does this new word mean? No, you just understand. Your brain does it for you, automatically. In that moment of understanding, you get a new piece of the language, and it stays with you. This is so important. If the English you listen to is too easy, that is I plus 0, you will feel bored, and you will not learn anything new. If the English you listen to is too hard, that is I plus 10, it will just be noise. You will not understand the message. You will feel lost and frustrated. When you feel frustrated, what happens? Your worry wall goes up and you cannot learn. The perfect place for learning is that beautiful zone, that I plus 1 zone. It is where you understand most of it, maybe 90 or 95%. And your brain is gently, happily challenged to understand the last little bit. This is exactly how you learned your first language as a child. When you were a baby, your parents talked to you. They did not use only the baby words you knew. They spoke in a special way. Scientists call it motherese. Their speech was naturally a little bit above your level. It was I plus 1. Your mom would point and say, "Look at the big red ball." Maybe you already knew the word ball. That was your I. But maybe big and red were new. They were your plus 1. Because she was pointing to a big red ball. You understood the message. Your brain automatically connected the new words big and red to the meaning. You were swimming in an ocean of I plus 1 English. That is why it felt easy. That is why it felt like playing. This idea shows why the old school classroom is often not helpful. A normal class is often like I plus 100. The teacher explains a difficult grammar rule. The teacher uses many new words, and you are expected to understand everything. No wonder you feel lost. The English is not understandable. It is not comprehensible. To understand why this is the only way, we need to look at our brain one more time. Dr. Krashen says we have 2 separate ways to get better at a language. He calls this the acquisition learning hypothesis. Let's call them the 2 brain systems. System number 1, the acquiring system. This is the subconscious system. It is the natural system. It works when you are just enjoying something in English, like watching a movie or listening to a podcast you like. You are not studying. You are focused on the story, the message. This system builds your feeling for the language, your intuition. It gives you the ability to speak easily and naturally. This is the system that creates fluency. System number 2, the learning system. This is the conscious system, the thinking system. This is the system you use in a classroom. You memorize rules, you study lists. This gives you knowledge about the language. Dr. Krashen says this learned knowledge has only one job. Its job is to be the editor or the checker we talked about. It can help you fix mistakes when you are writing an email slowly, but it is not useful for fast, natural conversation. Now, here is the most important shocking idea from his research. Learning cannot become acquisition. Let's let that idea sit for a moment. Learning cannot become acquisition. This means all the hours you spent memorizing grammar rules will never turn into the ability to speak fluently and naturally. It is like you have 2 boxes in your brain, a learning box and an acquiring box. You cannot move information from the learning box to the acquiring box. They are different. They are separate. This is why you can know a grammar rule perfectly, but you cannot use it when you speak. The rule is in the learning box, but speaking comes from the acquiring box. So our number 1 goal, our only real goal, is to fill up our acquiring box. And what is the only food that fills this box? Understandable English, comprehensible input. This way works because it is natural. It is how every person on earth learned their first language. It works because it is low stress. You are just enjoying something interesting. Your worry wall stays down. Your brain is open and ready to receive the language. And it works because it provides context. You do not just learn words. You feel the grammar. You feel the patterns of the language. When you have heard, "I have been waiting 100 times in real situations," you do not need a rule to tell you it is correct. It just sounds right. It feels right. The best kind of understandable English is compelling input. Compelling means it is so interesting, so fun, that you forget you are learning English. Your mind is 100% on the story. When you are in that state, your brain acquires the language at super speed. This is the real secret. Fluency is not built by painful work. Fluency is the natural result of thousands of hours of enjoyable listening and reading. So, my friend, I invite you to stop studying English. It is time to start acquiring English. And now I will show you exactly how to do it. Section 3, your simple daily plan. Okay, the idea is beautiful, but how do we do this every day? I will give you a very simple plan, a 3-step plan to use every day. You can start today. This is your new plan for fluency. It is simple. It is easy to continue, and it is very, very effective. You do not need to buy expensive classes. You do not need to do boring exercises. You only need a little bit of your time and your attention. Here are the 3 steps. Step number 1, your daily dose of understandable English. This is the most important part of the plan. This is the heart of the system. Your number 1 job every day is to feed your brain. Feed it with interesting and understandable English. This is your main exercise for the day. Your goal is to find things to listen to or read that are at that I+1 level, where you understand most of what is happening. A good rule is the 95% rule. If you understand about 95% of the words without a dictionary, it is perfect. You can follow the main ideas easily. You do not feel lost. So, where can you find this kind of English? If you're a beginner, at the A1 or A2 level, you need a lot of help from pictures. Your best friends are Comprehensible Input English videos on YouTube. Many creators are now making videos just for this. They use simple words, drawings, and hand movements to tell stories. These videos are made to be I+1. Search for Comprehensible Input English. Cartoons for very young children. Shows for children who are 2, 3, or 4 years old are perfect. The language is simple, it repeats a lot, and the pictures show you everything that is happening. Shows like Peppa Pig or Bluey are wonderful. Do not feel silly watching them. You are doing something very smart. You are doing what works. Graded readers. These are special books. They are written for English learners at different levels. You can search online for a 1 English graded reader or a 2 English story. If you are an intermediate learner at the B1 or B2 level, your world of choices becomes much bigger. Now, the most important thing is to find English that is interesting to you. YouTube channels about your hobbies. This is the best place to find material. It is a gold mine. Do you love to cook? Watch cooking channels in English. Do you like video games? Watch gamers who stream in English. Do you like history, technology, makeup, or travel? There are thousands of channels for you. Find a person you like. Someone who speaks clearly. At first, you can use English subtitles. That is perfectly okay. Because you already know about the topic, you have a lot of context. This context helps you understand the new English words. Podcasts for English learners. You can search for Intermediate English Podcast. There are many podcasts that talk about interesting things in slower, clearer English. These are perfect for listening while you are driving, or cleaning, or at the gym. TV shows and movies you already know and love. Watch your favorite movie again, but this time, watch it in English. You already know the story. You know the characters. So you can relax. You can focus all your brain's energy on connecting the English words to the meaning you already know. Your only job in this step is to focus on the message. Enjoy the story. Do not stop for every new word. Do not think about the grammar. Just relax, listen or read, and let your brain do its natural work. If it feels too hard, if you understand less than 80%, find something easier. That is okay. Doing this every day is the most important thing. 20 minutes every day is much, much better than 3 hours on one day. Consistency is the key. Step number 2, get a little help. Step 1 is about natural subconscious acquiring. Step 2 is a short, focused moment of conscious learning. It is a little helper for step 1. We can use technology in a smart way to help us understand any small, confusing parts. After you listen or read, maybe you noticed a phrase that you heard a few times, but it is not 100% clear. Maybe you watched a video and the person said, I've been meaning to fix that. You understand the general idea from the context, but you are not sure exactly what have been meaning to means. Now you can ask a computer helper like ChatGPT, but do not ask a grammar question like in the old way. Do not ask, explain the present perfect progressive. That is the old boring way. Instead, ask about the real sentence you heard. You can use this simple prompt. In an English video, I heard someone say, "I've been meaning to fix that." 1. What does this mean in simple terms? 2. Can you give me 3 more examples of how to use this in a normal conversation? The computer helper might say, 1. Meaning? It means you wanted or planned to do something for a while, but you have not done it yet. 2. Examples. I've been meaning to call my mom all week. She's been meaning to read that book for months. We've been meaning to try that new restaurant. Do you see how this is different? You are not learning a cold, abstract rule. You are getting a quick, simple explanation for a real piece of language you just heard. This connects the conscious learning directly to the experience from step 1. This connection helps the new phrase to stick in your memory. Spend only 10 or 15 minutes doing this. It is like a small, precise action, not a long study session. Step number 3. Help your brain remember. Finally, we want to make sure the best new phrases do not leave our brain. We want to keep them. For this, we can use something called a spaced repetition system, or SRS. The most famous SRS app is called Anki. It is free to use on your computer. An SRS is not a normal flashcard app. It is a very smart system. It learns how well you know each card. It shows you a card just before you are about to forget it. This is the most efficient, most powerful way to build long-term memory. Here is how you can use it in a smart way. 1. Make your own cards. Please do not download a list of 5,000 random words from the internet. That is the old way. Your cards will be personal. They will come from the words and phrases you learn in step 1 and step 2. 2. What should you add to your cards? Only add full sentences that you heard or read. Always full sentences. 3. How to make the cards. It is very simple. On the front of the card, write the full English sentence with one word missing. Why do we use full sentences? Because context is the most important thing. When you learn the full sentence, you are learning the word, the grammar around it, and how it is used naturally. All at the same time. You are acquiring the whole pattern, not just one little piece of information. Every day, just take the 2 to 5 most important phrases you learned in step 2. Turn them into new cards. Then, spend just 5 or 10 minutes reviewing your cards. The Anki program does all the hard work of scheduling for you. This simple 3-part system is a full circle for fluency. Step 1 is for massive natural acquiring. Step 2 is for small, clear understanding. Step 3 is for smart, long-term remembering. The more you listen, the more you understand. The more you understand, the more you acquire. The more you acquire, the more you can listen to. It is a beautiful, happy cycle. It gets faster and faster. This is how you will stop translating in your head and you will start actually thinking in English. I know this might be a very different way to think about learning a language. It might feel strange to let go of the old school methods. the methods you were taught for your whole life. But let's be honest with each other. Those old methods have not brought you the feeling of joy and ease you want. If you are serious about finally feeling fluent and happy in English, I invite you to make a promise to yourself, a gentle promise. Try this 3-step method for the next 30 days, or even just for 1 week. For 1 week, put away the grammar books. Stop memorizing random word lists and just promise yourself to do 20 minutes of enjoyable, understandable listening every day. I promise you will feel a change. The English language will start to feel less like a school subject. It will feel more like a real, living, breathing thing. I would love for you to share your journey. In the comments below, you can write how you feel about this new idea. Is it exciting? Is it a little scary? Then you can come back in a week or in 30 days and tell us what happened. Your story will give hope and inspiration to so many other people. People who feel stuck, just like you might feel right now. And if this episode was a light bulb moment for you, if it made you see things in a new way, please do me a small favor and tap the like button. More importantly, if you want more ideas like this, please subscribe or follow our podcast. Our journey together does not end here. In our next episodes, I will share my favorite places to find interesting English. For many years, you have been trying to climb a tall mountain. You worked very hard. You thought the top of the mountain, Fluency, was close. But maybe you were on the wrong mountain. The path of old-style learning with its rules and memorization is a difficult path. It leads to a place where you know about English, but you cannot use it with joy. Today, you have seen a new mountain and the true path to the top. The path of understandable English is not harder, it is smarter. It is a gentle path that works with your brain's amazing gifts, not against them. It is a path that changes worry and boredom into curiosity and fun. The idea that you can become fluent just by enjoying interesting stories. It might sound too good to be true, but it is supported by so much research and by so many real people who have become fluent this way. It is the simple, powerful truth. You have the key now. You have the plan. You understand that fluency is not a fight to be won with hard force. Fluency is like a garden. It needs to be cared for every day with patience and kindness. You care for it with messages you understand, with stories you love, with voices that you find interesting. Please let go of any feelings of guilt or frustration. It was never your fault. You were just given the wrong map. Today, you have the right one. The journey to fluency begins now, not with a grammar rule, but with one single, understandable sentence. Find a video, a podcast, or a story that looks interesting to you and just press play. Stop learning. Start acquiring. The only thing between you and the confident, happy English speaker you dream of being is a few thousand hours of enjoyable listening and reading. Your journey starts now. Thank you so much for listening today, my friend. Be kind to yourself and be patient with your journey. See you next time, my friend.